Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to be talking about an HBO Max film from a few months ago, Charm City Kings. Before I begin, let me know in the comments if you were looking forward to this or what your thoughts were if you've seen it already, and make sure to give this a thumbs up if you like these reviews. It helps me out immensely if you do that. Also, if you're new here and you like movies, please consider hitting that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with reviews of new releases and some classics. But now, let's jump right into it. This stars Jahi Di'Alio Winston as Mouse, a 14-year-old in Baltimore with a big interest in motorbikes. He desperately wants to join a biker gang known as the Midnight Clique, who rule the summertime streets. When the clique's leader Blax, played by Meek Mill, takes him under his wing, Mouse is now torn between a straight and narrow path and one filled with fast money and violence. This is directed by Angel Manuel Soto, whose films I'm unfortunately not familiar with, but the story is by Barry Jenkins and is based on the documentary 12 O'Clock Boys, which also covers dirt bikers in Baltimore. It premiered at Sundance back in January and received some positive attention due to the casting of Meek Mill, as this is his feature debut. So we'll start with him, as well as the performances in general. Meek Mill was pretty damn good, I gotta say. He's this potential mentor figure to Mouse, especially as Mouse's brother used to be part of the Midnight Clique. We find out early on he passed away in this biking accident, but hanging out with the clique is something Mouse's mom adamantly doesn't want him to do. She doesn't want history to repeat itself. And even though it's not this straight and narrow path, Blax also doesn't want Mouse to end up like him. We find out he's working at this bike shop and he's out on parole and he's trying to get his own life together, and at first he's even hesitant to take Mouse under his wing. He kind of wants to keep his distance when they initially meet. But he lets Mouse work on a bike, he tries to keep him focused on that and has him deliver bikes for him, and he tries to keep him moving forward. And I thought Meek Mill did a great job making his character very compelling. There was so much nuance to him that he brought out. He's tough, but he also has compassion for others. Even though he still hangs out with the clique, he attempts to get his life on track. He tries to be a mentor, but you can sense sometimes that he has these internal struggles of his own. And with all that, I thought he was one of the best parts of this movie. And the rest of this cast are really enjoyable. Jahi Di'Alio Winston makes for a compelling lead. We see him having to struggle between these two paths, because even though he really wants to hang out with these bikers, he also has a part-time job working at a vet's office, and we see he's really good at that, and his mother does her best to make sure he's regularly going to his job, as does Detective Rivers, played by Will Catlett, who Mouse knows from a young age. And Mouse's arc deals with him having to struggle between these two paths and these two mentors, Blax and Rivers, and we see how this affects some of the other relationships he has between his mother, his two friends known as Lamont and Swear to God, and a new girl on the block named Nikki. The way a lot of this plays out, I'll be honest, it has the feel of your typical coming-of-age drama. It'll hit some pretty familiar beats. There are times Mouse is presented with this difficult choice. It's not completely 100% predictable, like you can't call the entire movie right from the beginning, but there are times it won't be too surprising. Though this movie ultimately still works, and that's because of these performances. The chemistry among all the actors is phenomenal. I bought all these relationships, and when it hits some of the more emotional moments, they all crush it. And even in moments where the film takes it easy for a bit, it was still engaging because the way everyone played off each other, it all felt so natural. I think what helped too was the fact that it's shot really well. The cinematography and the direction was on point, with a lot of medium shots and close-ups. We get a few wide shots of the streets and the city, but a lot of the time, it wants us to feel like we're right there with these characters, and the film does a fantastic job capturing that really personal feel it's looking to achieve. I especially love the relationship that Mouse has with Lamont and Swear to God. I thought they made for a great trio. At times, they're actually really funny. Some of the conversations where it's just these kids trying to enjoy their summer were really nice moments because of their chemistry, and anytime they were on screen together, it worked really well. Another big standout is Tiana Paris, who plays Mouse's mother. Her role isn't huge because a lot of this takes place when she's working, but anytime she's on screen, she just lights up the room. She gives such a powerful performance, including one of the film's biggest emotional peaks, which is later on, so I won't spoil anything, but she's great. I enjoyed her a lot when she appeared in If Beale Street Could Talk in 2018, and she crushes it again here, so I'm really looking forward to what she does next. My only other major criticism, besides the fact that it's somewhat familiar, is that it definitely can feel a little too long, especially in the second act going into the third act. There are a lot of different storylines going on, and there were a few times it could have streamlined things just a bit. For the most part, the balance among all these storylines is fine, just at times though, it could have gotten to the point a bit quicker in some areas. Overall, this was a solid film that I enjoyed. It may feel like your typical coming-of-age tale, and it hits some familiar beats, but what makes it work so well is its honesty and its performances. It's shot incredibly well and gave us some very compelling characters to follow, thanks to Jahi Di'Alio Winston, Meek Mill, Tiana Paris, and the rest of the cast absolutely crushing it. It's on HBO Max, and if you have it, it's worth checking out. Charm City Kings gets a 7.5 out of 10. So let me know, did you see Charm City Kings or are you planning to see it, and what were your thoughts? Did you like the performances? Did you enjoy the story? And what's the best coming of age drama that you've seen? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it, and for more movie reviews and film discussion, please make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay updated. Thanks for watching everyone, and I'll catch you next time.